Hello and welcome back to the Urban Schoolhouse Podcast, where school is cool. I'm Chelsea Wysinger and I'm here with my mom.
Hey, I'm Ebony Wysinger.
And today we are tackling part 2, the final part of our mini college series, where it's titled, You're Admitted, Now What?
What you gonna do?
Question mark.
What you gonna do when you get to college?
Question mark. So I would like your perspective as a guidance counselor when your students begin to get those acceptance letters. What's the first thing you encourage them to do?
Good question. Okay, so that's a very good question. I think the number one thing I would do once I got my admissions letters back is to rank my colleges. And even when I'm waiting for my admissions letters, kind of have an idea of what my first choice is, what my second choice is, and what my last choice is, kind of thing. And then I would put them in the order of financial order after that.
Ooh.
Meaning the schools that I could literally afford to pay for based off, and it would be more than just the application admissions, but it will also be based off the FAFSA information. But I think we're going to talk about that another day. But the FAFSA is the federal application for student aid. That's right, FAFSA?
I believe so.
Okay. And it's a governmental form that one fills out electronically along with their parents or guardians if they're dependents. And if they're not, that's a separate issue. They're independent, and that's a different issue. But we're talking about seniors.
Yes.
And so they're dependents, probably. There are some cases where you're not, but most seniors are. And you would compare the finances, the scholarships that the schools offer versus your expected financial contribution, EFC, which your FAFSA would give you, which would tell you how much your family would expect to pay out of pocket. And then you would look at your scholarship money and whatever you would be offered from federal funds, whether that be loans, subsidized, unsubsidized loans. Work study could come from a FAFSA, and other scholarships that come along with financial need. So, work study and whatnot. And I would just say that other loans like Perkins loans and things like that, it's just basically to qualify you for any type of financial aid. So my second step would be to evaluate the financial situation. And then after that, I would look into where, let the last thing be location.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
I think so. That's my experience, like after going to college and advising students and actually watching you go. I think that school is what you make it. And I feel
That's
like
true. Mm-hmm. So I still had a ball in the cornfields.
In the cornfields. And I had a ball in the country. So
it depends on the school. Like the school culture, I feel like has a lot to do with it.
Absolutely. But I'm saying though, like academics and finance, that's above location, because if you can't get accepted because of academics or stay there because of academics, and you can't pay because of finances, then it don't matter where you at, really.
That part.
Clock it.
That part.
Follow that advice if you want to, but that's my opinion.
It should be the last thing on your mind, huh?
I shouldn't say the last thing because let's wait. Can I? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to go back. I know I'm doing a lot of words, but I just have a few more.
Okay.
If the audience listens to part 1 of this mini series, they'll hear us speak about location and how do you find where you want to live in the world. I feel that your application should be reflective of those prior choices. So out of those ones that you actually apply to, you should be okay and comfortable living wherever those 5 or 6 wherever those 5 or 6 schools are.
I was just thinking, but like if you think about location, and let's say like it's out of state, so you're talking about money, but location can tie into the money because like if you have to fly home, if you have to fly to go home, or something like that, it's like, well, yeah, then that could be more money, or do you get a refund and that covers it, or yeah, for a ride, like I think
that's smart. That's true. And it's not.
It could be
more money, ma'am. It will be more money because even if you're not flying home and you driving home like I did many times, it still costs money.
Yeah.
You got to get your tires ready for the drive. You got to get your oil ready for the drive. You got to get your gas ready for the drive. And depending on how far you were going, that could run you a couple $100.
Right, but still, I mean, a flight could be more, could be less, because I know friends who, went from Michigan to California, something like that. So you don't have to take a flight home, but I mean, it's like a 2 or 3 day car ride.
Exactly. And for me, it was like I said, 18 hours, so it would take us less than a day. But it was still a very long time and close to nearly a whole day.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of things I did to try to mitigate costs was ask people to ride with me, and we shared the cost. So if you are in state, like Chelsea was, you can bring people home with you, and they can help you pay for the gas, right?
Well, nah.
You didn't do that?
I brought my roommate home maybe like once.
Not come home with you, but get a group of kids coming to the same area, not to dwell with you.
No, but like she asked, and we live pretty close, like maybe like 20 minutes apart. Sometimes people would ask, but they wouldn't live near me. Like I live in the like Southeast Michigan, and then somebody would live in like Flint and be like, "Can you drive me home?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, like that's not."
You could drive
close.
them here, and somebody could come pick them up from here.
Yeah, but also speaking of that though, real quick, buses,
trains,
automobiles. Anyway, planes, trains, automobiles. No, at least at my undergrad, they had free buses to take kids home. So
really,
for break, and
I never knew that.
I didn't have to. I'm blessed. I didn't have to worry about that. But at Central Michigan, they had a huge Chicago population, so they had a bus that went from Mount Pleasant to Chicago.
Okay.
For every break for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the summer, they have a bus go to Chicago. They also had a bus to Lansing, and then they had a bus to like Flint, Saginaw area.
Were they like
and they had one
buses or charter buses?
I think they were charter buses, and they had one that went to Detroit. So they had like 4 buses, because those were like the 4 main places the student body were from. So that's what they did.
Okay, well, fire up, Chips.
Yeah, inclusivity. So your college might have something like that too.
So you should check into it. And those are all things you can ask when you go on your college tours.
College tours.
If you can't tour, you can always call and ask questions, and have a phone or video conference with an admissions officer. Is that on our list to talk about?
Admissions officers?
Talking to an admissions officer?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, let's transition.
Yeah, they're great. And then there's always going to be students that also work in the admissions office. If you want to talk to a student, you can talk to a student as well. Talk to an employee, and they're trained to be able to answer any questions.
So what type of questions should a student ask an admissions officer, you think?
Sure, I don't know. I really didn't ask. I feel like any questions I had, I just asked you.
Yeah. Well, what do you think those questions might be? I know some questions. I'm thinking.
I feel one question was, can I bring my car? Because some colleges don't let freshmen bring their cars.
Right.
That's the thing.
What type of transportation if they don't have cars?
Yeah. Dorm situation. For my college, we had this underclassmen had to live on campus for the first 2 years. Most colleges, freshmen have to live on campus their first year unless you have some accommodation or something like that. But usually all freshmen have to live on campus, so that's one. Some colleges have specific freshman dorms, so that might be another thing too.
Yes, that is a thing, big thing.
Stuff like that. What do they do to get like? It was literally called Get Acquainted Day. Where I don't know if anybody has seen the movie Pitch Perfect, but they're like in the beginning scene of Pitch Perfect, where they have all those clubs and all the booths and stuff. That was Get Acquainted Day. So they would do that once a semester. So in the summer before school, it would be outside. It would be literally every org on campus you could ever think of. And then the winter, it'd be in like a center, a hall or whatever. Go to those. Get to know people. Connect.
Definitely. And if you're a mother or father, well, they wouldn't be in the org if you're first gen. I was going to say connect with your people's orgs, but, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, all that good stuff. And then, if you can't make a tour, if you can't afford a tour, what?
Or don't have time for a tour.
Or don't have time. But most colleges also now have, like, virtual tours.
Mm-hmm. They do. So I think that that's the thing that they should definitely take advantage of before they go. But after they get there, they can still, meet with advisors to make sure that the class schedules that they pick are good.
And then on top of class schedules, like your major, because I know people who enroll, like apply, got in, enrolled, did all the things, but they didn't have the major that they really wanted.
Right, which is
crazy.
Like, that's the whole point. Okay.
But I feel like my one point was just, if you're struggling with a major, what I did, like, when I was applying to grad school, I would look up YouTube videos of days in my life as different majors, just to kind of, like, see maybe what every day kind of looked like as different majors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of
smart.
How I kind of had an idea of what I would be doing. Like, I would look up a grad student day of my life, like as an MSW student, just to see, like, what they were doing every day. To just get an idea. And, again, you can go to each program specifically, and you can find staff, you can find students, and you can ask questions.
Definitely. That's smart. I like that.
So I would do that to kind of get an idea. But
then you should also join clubs and organizations, don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
Because especially in your major. So if you're a psychology major, you need to belong to the psychology club. Yes. And if you are a social work major, same thing. I think it's imperative to get to know the people who are in your department, because you'll be there for a while. And you'll want to make copies.
Especially if you are trying to go to grad school.
You'll want to make copies. You'll need a favor, right? Mm-hmm. So go in there and be kind and smile and introduce yourself.
And I feel like that's how I kind of knew that maybe psych was not the correct route for me. Because when I was thinking about what staff members I were close to, they were literally all like family studies professors. I know psych professors. They were all kind of weird. And I just didn't, I connected with, maybe one or two, but when I had emailed and then when I tried to go to them and talk about a letter of recommendation, it was just weird. So I was like, I don't know if you gave me one. So all of them were family studies professors, honestly.
But you are a psych major, so you must have got into it.
Honestly, no. Honestly, about my junior year, I was like, I kind of hate this.
I love studying psychology.
By my junior year, I was like,
and
I kind of hate
I
this.
really like my professors because while they were unique, they were good people.
No, I was like, I kind of don't enjoy this anymore, but I was already over halfway done. So I just stuck with it.
What made you stop liking science?
I think it was, I'm not the biggest fan of writing research papers. It's interesting.
That's the thing.
Right. It's interesting for a minute, but I think I had done it so much, I was just over it.
Yeah. It does get old.
It does get old.
By year 4.
Right. And I was a junior, so I was in the capstone, so I worked on this project all year long, and did I think my paper ended up being almost 20 pages.
Yeah.
And I literally conducted my own research from beginning to end.
Nice.
Ugh.
It was a great presentation too, and you had to be proud.
I was. And I love telling people I did research. I love telling people that.
Yeah.
But actually doing the research.
You didn't love to do that?
I did not love that.
I did research at the University of Minnesota. And I presented it at a colloquium in Boston, Massachusetts. And I loved it. It was not easy.
It's not easy. Man.
The formatting is the hardest thing.
It is. It's disgusting.
APA?
It's disgusting. That's what I tell people.
Let's stay on topic.
No, because I'm getting like war flashbacks. Anyway. So also you
scare them.
No, I mean, if you have a passion for it, you got a passion for it, but even your passion, you be a little like, okay.
I'm tired of you, Paige.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's normal. Because especially, like, when you get into your major classes, like, I see people on the internet all the time talk about in college, you should only do classes that pertain to your major.
No.
And when you do that, you get sick of your major. Like, I promise you that. Because when I was taking full, like, 5, 6 psych classes, you get sick of it.
Okay, see, that is what I didn't do. So let me just throw that out there. For me, I guess I'm technically first gen. My mother didn't get a 4-year degree. So when I got to school, and I just always feel like I was a counselor at heart. I think I told you this before. Yeah. I always scheduled out my own classes. I don't ever recall going to see any type of counselor. I just looked at the classes and I read through the books and I figured out what I needed to do and I made a plan to do it. And I always had an integrative schedule, meaning I always had math, science, social studies, and English, art of some sort, and something fun. So I always suggest that kind of equilibrium that you would get in high school throughout college.
I was doing that.
And when you start taking psych classes, towards the end, you don't have any more of those other classes to take. So you only have psych classes left to take, and they can become very heavy with the
workload and the research.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. By the time you do that, it's time to go.
Because see, this was like not the best choice, but I was doing 2 research projects at the same time. Because I was in it's nothing. We can talk about the McNair Scholars Program.
Okay.
I was in the McNair Scholars Program. And then I was in my psychology capstone. So I was doing 2 different research projects at the exact same time.
That's heavy.
That was not fun. On top of my other classes too. Mm-hmm. So that was not fun.
Right.
That's why after I had finished, we went to a Mexican restaurant and I got a margarita. Anyway. So, we can talk about that. The McNair Scholars Program, I didn't know it existed. I learned about it from my cousin because she did it. The McNair Scholars Program, it's named after Ronald E. McNair, who got a PhD. He was super smart, and they have different chapters, I guess. They're all different.
Wasn't he an astronaut?
Yes, he was an astronaut, he did physics, all that good stuff. He was a black man. Yeah, he was a black man. So the program is for first gen / low income / students of color. So if you meet any of those categories, you can be in the McNair Scholars Program. So I had to apply. I had to have 1 or 2 letters of recommendation, and then I had an interview with the director. And then I got in. So the whole premise is for if you meet one of those 3 categories, and then your goal is to go to grad school, master's, primarily a PhD, since Ronald McNair did get a PhD. Mm-hmm. So primarily if you want to go like that far, this is a great program, and you get research done, so that gives you more accreditation. Especially for psychology, things like that, you want to have some research experience under your belt. And then we worked on our project all summer, so I had to stay on campus throughout the summer before my senior year, which that was not very fun. But we did get a stipend every month for just cost of living, because they didn't really want us to work. They want us to focus on our research projects. And then we also studied for the GRE. The GRE is basically the SAT for grad school.
The graduate record exam.
Yes, I didn't take it.
I did.
I did not. Since I, like, post-COVID, they weren't really requiring it, and I felt as though my application was strong enough without it, so I didn't take it, and I got the master's, so I was right. Anyway, so, all that. So, also,
but we talked about why you didn't have to take it, because it changed to test optional.
Right, because the ass said post-COVID.
And which is one of the things that happened after COVID, but I took it well before that, and it was required. I didn't have a choice.
Also, if you're interested in not just undergrad, but a graduate degree, see if your school has a McNair. And also, some grad schools have a McNair Scholar Fellowship, where if you were a McNair Scholar, that's more money for you.
And that's a great program, the McNair Scholarship. Mm-hmm. The McNair program, rather, I should say. And then you do your research and you present it, and everybody comes to celebrate you. We came. But I had a research opportunity through the National Institute of Mental Health. So I encourage not only psych students, but science of all sciences can apply. And they do a great program. You get a nice stipend. You get your internship where you go to the major research university. That's how I wound up at the university.
Most conferences, they will pay for it.
Mm-hmm. I wound up at the University of Minnesota in 1998, where I spent my whole summer doing research with Dr. Nikki Crick. And she went to Vanderbilt.
Shout out Vanderbilt.
Period. And I remember long days in her research office.
I used to go to my mentor's office
data,
like every morning.
Going through the data, being confused by the data.
When you look at too many graphs, it's like your brain just melts out of your ears.
It's like data.
Literally. I know. I used to go to my mentor's office like twice a week, maybe sometimes more, like early in the morning during her office hours. Between classes, I would go to her office. Like, no, we was for real. I worked with Dr. Kim Davison.
But do you know that type of research study puts you in a mindset where you can go and literally figure out anything?
Yeah.
Like, literally.
It's the trenches, but it's a lot.
It's the trenches for sure. But one thing you're going to do is read and write your way out of the...
And also, though, just to wrap it up, no matter what major you are, you got to learn how to not be afraid to ask for the coins. Because universities, especially public universities, they have the coins. They have coins specifically for students that do research, that want to go to conferences. Because guess what? If you go to a conference, that makes the school look good.
And also, you can call them. If you're not satisfied with your expected family contribution, or if you feel like you deserve more money, call them. Call the financial aid office and ask to make an appointment with the financial aid officer. And if you can't go in person because it's far, try to do it virtually or via mail. Literally.
Mic drop.
Ask for more money from the school because they have it.
They do.
What else we got to talk about today?
So, camps. So, I'm going off of my experience. Yes, camps, programs, / mentorship, everything. So, sometimes when you apply to a university, you will get a conditional acceptance. The conditions can be different depending on what's going on or what they think you're kind of missing. But they still want to give you a chance. So, a lot of universities have bridge programs. Bridge.
As
like water over a bridge.
Over the bridge programs.
So, basically, I feel like my mom can describe it better, but I know it's a summer program for students with conditional acceptances. And if they do X, Y, and Z, then they'll get in for that fall.
Yeah. So, I can talk about bridge programs, and it'll look a little different for every college because of their own rules, standards, or whatever. But overall, a bridge program is the connectivity between a student in their high school and their potential college or grad school or program, whereby, like Chelsea said, if you have like a very close admissions rate and they want to see what you can do, they want to see what type of student you are, basically a chance to show them. And then at the end of the program, you can become admitted based off your performance in the program. So it's kind of like on the job training to see if you could adapt, kind of, to being in an environment.
Yeah.
So it's short term, usually a summer, and you usually have a decision at the end of the evaluation process. So that's a bridge program. I don't know if they call them anything different at this time, but if you Google bridge programs, I'm sure the programs will begin to pop up for you.
Yeah. So that's a bridge program, and that can be for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're first gen or not. Yeah, it really just goes by your application.
But it's a way for first
to get more acquainted,
to get in the door.
Get in the door. Speaking of getting to the door,
you can do it.
Yes, and Central Michigan University, I'm gonna shout them out again because they created a concept which is so great, and I went to this camp. It's called Impact, and this camp was for first generation / students of color. And so I got to campus maybe like a week early. You move in early. Then you have a group. You have a mentor. So the mentor will have about maybe 5 to 8 students. You're with them for 2 or 3 days. You do everything together. You reflect. That you can ask questions. You go on tours. Everything you could possibly need to know about college, they will tell you. It's another student, so you feel that connection. It's not that power imbalance you don't have with like staff members. It's very fun. It was a great time, and then by the time class starts, you're already used to being on campus, and you have an advantage because you got to campus a week early. Right. You know, so you had time to move in. Yeah. And then when people was moving in like 2 days before school started, we was like, ooh, like, good luck, because we already been there for a week.
The elevators are crowded.
Right, we already been there for
crowded. Yeah. The parking lots are crowded. The lines are long.
Yeah, like, but we already been there. So we was like, oh, like, we true to this. I'm not new to this. So, if the college that you're interested in offer something like that, that would be great. If they offer programs, you might be able to move in early, get used to your campus, things like that. That would help you out tremendously. And I also love how it's not just like a okay, camp's over, never talk to you again, bye. Like,
it's a follow up.
Literally, I know people that talk to their mentees and mentors years and years and years later. Like, every time I saw my mentor on campus, she would talk to me. How are you doing? What's going on? Are you okay? Like, we would meet up for lunch in the cafeteria. We would hang out. Like, they stay with you. Yeah. It's not just, okay, this was fun.
And that's important because you need a sense of community at school because you're away from your family more than likely unless you're commuting and living at home. And you need people who are going to root for you right in your face. So you can always call home for that, but it's nice to have a person that can give you a hug, a pat on the back, a high five, arm, fist bump, whatever, just to say you're doing a good job. I see you.
And one of my best friends, I met her. We were in the same group, and we're still friends to this day.
Nice.
So,
which friend are you talking about? Olivia?
Shout out Zakaria.
Oh, Zakaria. Okay, Chicago now.
Chicago, represent.
Zakaria was on that Chicago bus, huh?
Oh, and was. Period. But speaking of rides, you know what we used to do? So, I had a car, Zakaria did not, and so I would take her around Mount Pleasant or whatever. So, in exchange for that, when I had to go grocery shopping, I would use her EBT card anyway. So that's how we would do that.
But that's called an exchange. That's bartering services. And that's smart for young people to do. Oh, yeah. Just like if you braid hair and I do nails, let's swap. You know?
Yep. So resources, yes. We also had a math and reading lab where other students and some grad students would have hours where they would come and you could basically just get free help. So also be on the lookout for that. On top of that, office hours. Please go to your professor's office hours.
I used to live.
Please go to. That could be a
rap. One of my professors' office. I can't believe I don't remember his name, but I don't. He was one of my grad school profs. And I just factored in his office hours like it was a part of my day. You know, like
it be like
he left out. Okay, first of all, I want to clarify this was stats,
I
not
had trouble with
descriptive,
stats too.
but inferential, and that can be difficult. So, with that being said, I stayed in his office after our class each and every day because he was not a English speaker. It wasn't his first language.
Mm-hmm.
And there were points and that I didn't understand him, like, at all.
You didn't have a TA?
No.
Dang.
And there was a language barrier. And so what I did was I made sure I understood everything every day, all the time. I never let it slip. And I told him that sometimes I don't understand him, and he told me just come by and see me, and I just stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't an easy subject. And he would give me the one-on-one attention I needed, and it was like a tutor.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the professor, and I would be the only one in his office. And so he would spend the whole time helping me.
But that's how professors also get to know you, because you might be in a lecture with 200 other people. Mm-hmm. You might be in a lecture and your professor.
But not in grad school though.
Not in grad school, but like in undergrad. Because I remember I had big lectures actually when I was just a freshman,
mm-hmm.
and your professor can go that whole semester and don't even
see you.
They don't know your name.
Yeah.
Like, so but if you want to stand out, going to their office hours is definitely a way to talk to them after class.
Yeah, because if
before class,
you're teetering between a C and a B or A and a B, if they know you and they see that effort in you, they will recognize it.
100%. So go to the office hours.
Always
it will benefit you.
And even if you go there and just tell them that you need assistance in anything, they'll point you in that direction.
Yeah, professor or most graduate students, teaching assistants, TAs, GAs, same thing. They usually have office hours too. But in my experience, it'd be a little but that's just me.
So go forth, be great, ask questions, and get educated, y'all.
And also, maybe if you're a little bit, I know talking to a professor when you're a freshman can be intimidating. I also recommend making at least one friend in each class. And I've had times where I've struggled so much in a class where I did a mass email to my whole class, all my classmates. And I was just like, how do y'all study? What do y'all do? Because whatever I'm doing...
Did you get a lot of good feedback?
Yeah, and I was like, whatever I'm doing is clearly not working. Mm-hmm. What do you guys do?
That's smart. Smart kids ask questions. That's what I've learned.
Yes. And
you know what? I hate to start. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
You did.
I just wanted to point out it's so smart to ask questions. Keep going.
Yeah, because it wasn't my first choice because I felt like my professor wasn't that much of a help. So I was like...
And sometimes
they're not.
Everybody that teaches
just being real.
Yeah. Everybody that do something, they're not gifted.
That's why it's important to at least be able to talk to one person in your class and be like, hey, what do you do? What do you do? How do you go about this class? It was an asynchronous class too. That wasn't a good choice. Asynchronous means you don't actually go to class. They just post the work. You just do it. You do it all on your own time. If you're not self-disciplined, don't do asynchronous. Or online. If you're a type that has to go in person, then do that.
Yeah, and I was that kid or student.
I could do asynchronous, but...
No. I need to go. I need to participate. I need to be able to see people. Because I just need that structure. And plus, I'm old school. Y'all
Post-COVID
right.
though,
Post-COVID,
I love a good hybrid. Where you had the app, you got the option.
Go in a little bit.
No, you
stay home.
Right when they do in person and virtual. Oh, I love that.
So that means you could choose, or do you have to do a certain amount virtual and a certain amount?
You could choose. So if I feel like getting out of class that day.
They carry on the class in person.
Yes,
and you can choose.
And then they be on Zoom in the background.
You can choose to go.
Yes,
nice.
I love the good hybrid post COVID. Because if I feel like going, I have to. I could get on my computer and log on to Zoom.
Yeah, well, you guys are post-COVID students, but I am so pre-COVID in every class I ever took that I can't even begin to understand. And the only thing I do identify with as far as education after COVID is that
I think it became more accessible.
Students came back to school lazy after COVID.
No, I was gonna say it made
unmotivated.
education more accessible because what if somebody has kids at home but the class is hybrid, so they can just hop on Zoom, right? Versus getting
What
their
if they got
kids
kids
dressed.
at home and they can hop on Zoom and they don't? Or
Well, yeah, but at least that's an option now. The last thing I will say is, once you're admitted in your role, be sure to check your student portal and your student email because things are gonna come up in there that you need to know, like signing up for housing, your schedule, orientation. So just begin, like, get in the habit of checking your student email and things like that, so you know what's going on.
Yes, definitely. And also get in the habit of just reading all your syllabi. Okay? Because you just need to read them from beginning to end.
Read
the first time.
Their attendance policy.
Read
their
everything.
grading policy.
Late work policy. Makeup policy.
Because what they're going to tell you is, it was in the syllabus.
That's
all they gonna say.
Huh? And don't be like that. Because you didn't read it. And I already told you to read it. So I already made the mistake of not reading the syllabus. I'm going to tell you the story, but I'm just giving you the advice.
Okay, we'll get that story next time. Anyway. But that's all I have for today.
Is that what we have for today?
That's what we have.
Do we have any social?
It was jam-packed.
It was super packed. We gave a lot of information. I hope you guys
Gold.
enjoyed.
This was straight knowledge.
It was knowledge. Gold. Pass it along.
Constitution.
Send it to a student you know. And you guys can join us on our Instagram,
TikTok, and YouTube at Urban
the
Schoolhouse.
Urban Schoolhouse Podcast.
Yes.
And what else?
We be on there.
We be on there. And what do we post?
We post new episodes.
New episodes, quotes of the week.
New episodes every Sunday at 12 p.m. Quotes of the week.
Resources.
So fast forward, you mentioned that. We mentioned MAAP last episode. That's all on there. We
put that on already.
Yes.
Nice.
And dual enrollment, we talked about that last episode. That's all there too. So
nice. I love that for
a lot of different resources that we post
So
in our
tap in.
highlights, in our Instagram highlights under resources.
Tap in. Okay, well.
That's all we have for today. And we will see you guys next week on the Urban Schoolhouse,
where school is cool. Class dismissed.